just going in it.
Going
Hey,
live.
what's going on, everybody? And welcome to, we call this a test run, but the inaugural. Now, this ain't inaugural. What they call this show? The pilot show
The pilot.
of Optimize the Game with EGlaze and Bobby Jackson. Bobby J, in this purpose, I just want to say, what's up, Bobby? How you feeling today, man?
Ah, another Falcons loss. Keep going.
We trying to pick up the spirits in Atlanta because we have become homecoming in the NFL.
Hey, we that
Uh,
team. Oh, God.
but I wanted to bring together, uh, we do, you see one part of what we do. You see me, I do the sports thingy thing, but that's also a big part is the nonprofit thing that we do. And not only me, but this guy right here, who's a big part of that, who's on the board, he also does a fantastic thing called Name of the Game Chess all over the country, which is big time. Bobby Jackson. So we wanted to get together and just bring the minds and just talk about things that we do and what we feel should be done to help our communities going forward. So Bobby's one of the most brilliant minds that I know.
Man, quit. Stop. Jeez.
It took him forever to write a book. We got it done. We an English major who took 20, 54 years to write a book, but we got it done though.
Oh, no, why don't you tell the people how we got this idea for optimize the game started? Go tell them what you did.
So it was 2 a.m. in the morning. I was sitting there and I was seeing some other people talking, and I'm like, I got somebody who talks a little bit, who does some great things, and he speaks to the NFL. Why don't I see if I get him on the show? So I couldn't wait till tomorrow because I know me. I go to sleep, and the next day I'll be like, "What was I thinking?" So I called Bobby at 2 a.m. and say, "Dog, we got to do a show." And if it's ain't but once a Sunday, once every other Sunday, once a week, as long as we can get it out there and talk to the people, um, we'll do that. And Bobby was like, you know what? You don't sound sleepy. You was it's crazy. You.
It was 2:47. I was knocked out. And I don't even know how I heard this had to be divine providence, man, because I have no idea how I heard my phone ring.
Yeah, yeah, man. I was like, hey, is he up or is it just me? But he answered the phone, and here we are, man.
Yes,
So
sir.
weekly, you'll hear us, or whenever we decide to do this show. Hopefully, it'll be weekly around this time. We're going to talk about things in the community and things that we do to help strive in the community. I've had a lot of calls recently about doing things. A lot of people want to do nonprofit work, how to set it up, how to do things like that. Bobby does a lot of things in the community as well. So it's our little way to give it back to what y'all have given us. Bobby's been part
That,
of the school. Like, you know what? Instead of me talking all the time, I know I'm the point guard. Bobby, tell me a little bit about yourself, sir, and the things that you're into.
it's odd, man. As much as you say I'm the. I hate talking sometimes, dude. But okay, here's my spiel. Um, I am one of the co-founders of No Stones Movement (NSM). One of my board members, excommunicate board member sitting in front of me right here. Um,
You kick me out, dog.
but we are a not-for-profit that has been concentrating on working on holistic healing for Metro Atlanta youth, and now even expanding past Metro Atlanta. And when we talk about holistic healing, we're talking about physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, intellectual. So we do a lot of programs, including our school. We have an African-centered high school, TSK Preps, or as the kids, I'd have to say it, Tom Musana Kenyapa Preparatory Academy of Creative Arts and Media Technology. They'd be mad if I don't say the whole thing. So
You got to
like,
say the whole thing. I mean, you have to.
just like a nice slip back. But one of the other programs we have there is Name of the Game, Chess in Real Life, which is one of my babies. And so that's kind of how we kind of got our thing going in the community and the nonprofit world, which is not for the faint of heart. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. And on my side, I am founder and CEO of Optimize the Vision. I'm not
Yes,
CEO,
sir.
I'm executive director, whatever. I got to change that. People have gotten me about that. Well, we work with students within the metro Atlanta area, exposing them to different things within the city to hope bring and brighten their futures through not only just hearing about it, but seeing it, touching it, feeling it, so that they can grow and be great people for our community. Bobby is also on that board as well. So, Bobby,
Yep.
first of all, I just want to talk about this, man. In our time in this world that we do, this nonprofit world, what has been the biggest thing that you've seen the community ask for you and from you in doing things?
All right, now I got to clarify because you know me.
Yeah.
And I'm knocking on the door of 54 years of age, and so the older we get, the less we really care about what we say. How far can I go with this?
I try to do stuff. I try to be
uh,
tap out. But for the most part, man, I want you to be honest. I don't want to curse, but you
no,
don't
no,
curse
no. We
anyway.
we gonna
But
keep
I
it.
do
Yeah,
want you to be
keep it
honest, and I
family.
want you to be out there because we see this, and we have to
Yeah,
be real with it. We got a lot of people out here who are talking heads that don't talk about it, so we're gonna talk about it. So
right.
if we weren't doing the work, I would say we just talking, but we do work. So let's
I
talk
got
about it.
you. I got you. I will say this on a positive note, man. We both, and I've been a part of your organization. You've been a part of mine, and we've seen the work firsthand. We've seen the effect that it has on the children. And I'm not going to say the constituents or the children especially, because that's our focus, that's our concentration. We have other people who are out here doing work with the elderly, the unhoused, or the homeless, and you see the positive effect that it has on people. If I'm completely honest, when you ask what are our communities looking for, sometimes I think they're looking for help because sometimes hope is the only thing we got just to get us to the next day. And if somebody could just give us a little nudge, you've been in the weight room, we can get past that break point just to push that bar up. We're just looking for a little bit of assistance, a little spot.
Mm,
And then sometimes I think we're looking for somebody to carry the load for us, and
mm,
that becomes an issue. Um, I had a conversation with a brother of mine who is part of an organization I'm with, Black Man Lab, which is also a nonprofit. Shout out to attorneys Maoli Davis and my boy Marty, and Fred, who was now taking over, I think is executive director now. They've done great work working with Black men and doing good things to put people in positions to help that get that lift. But I've also watched it turn into a breeding ground for come do it for me. Come do it
mm.
for me. Come do it for me. And that gets a little sticky. It's a slippery slope when you got so many hands that are coming out, especially when those hands have the ability to do for self. So
Right, right,
yeah,
right.
it gets a little sticky.
You know what's crazy about that is, um, it's funny. You see things on TV, you think, well, the community kind of isn't asking for help. They're kind of doing things on their own. But no, we out there and we see that they do come to us and say, can you do more? Is there things you can do? And you do kind of want, and that's what we kind of focus on. That's why I kind of want to have this is we can give you the tools. We need you to want to use the tools. We can't do it for you.
Right.
Um, the biggest thing I've seen is you can't help everybody, but you hope to grow branches in each thing
Yeah.
that you do. So when you do this type of work, you have to go in expecting everything. Try to do. You can't do it all, but you try to do it all. But you got to hope that the people you're feeding into can get the plate, get some of the groceries, get some of the things to help you out, so you can fix it. My biggest thing is that when I see stuff like this, what the community need, it is we need that people in our community that's willing to not listen to what everybody else tell you and just go do it. I tell
Okay, you
everybody
got
my
to unpack
favorite.
that a little bit. Unpack that a little bit. What do you mean by you can't listen to everybody?
Everybody comes into this world, and I guess I'm about to get controversial. The first thing they want to talk about, Bobby, is they treat nonprofits, they treat work for money. How can I get donations? How can I get um, people to throw a bunch of money at it? Me and you both
Yeah.
can tell them if you really trying to solve some things and work some things out, there's not going to be a lot of money that come from it. So you got to go in there with an idea of, are you really? First question I always ask: are you here to? What are you trying to do? Are you here
Yeah.
to affect something? Or are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? And I
Right.
always ask them, if money wasn't an issue, what would you still do it?
Right.
A lot of people lie to me, say yeah, because I know they lying. But at the end of the day, when you go into this and you're doing this for whatever you're doing, you have to be willing to put a lot of effort into it, and there's going to be a lot of effort that ain't going to be thanked, a lot of effort that ain't going to be um, shown on shown on the big screen like Fife Dog. I don't let a statue tell me how nice I am. You ain't gonna get awards for it. You ain't gonna get
Right.
certificates. You just got to do the work. And a lot of people ain't willing to do that. So when I ask people this, a lot of people come in and they want to do everything by. Don't look at the United Way. Don't look at the big boys who do this.
The red crosses and yeah.
Yeah. If ain't nobody but you, what will you do? What can
Yeah.
you do? Shout out to our partner Jay Bailey. When I first started Optimize Division, you know what he told me?
I
I
remember
came
this.
on, I was talking to, yeah, man, I need to get a board. I need to raise all this capital. He said, okay, yeah, that sounds good. What are you trying to do? I said, hey, man, I just want to take kids. I want to take kids to different events. Do that.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
all I've been going by, man. So when I say people don't know what to get into and how to get into it,
Yeah.
it ain't pretty. That's
Well,
why
you
you
said
see,
something. I'm sorry.
go
You
ahead.
said something earlier about why are people getting into this, and if we want to go change it, where we want to do it all. We want to do it all. When I was working, speaking of Jay, I was working at Rice as a uh, technical director over there, and when I was dealing with a lot of the clients, I would tell them, "Look, I may not have every answer for your success, but
Hmm.
there are a couple things I can tell you to ensure you're going to fail. I've made enough mistakes and I know enough hiccups that I can give you some of the hurdles. And one of those is try to do everything. Go ahead and try and do everything. You are going to fall on your face more often than you care to. So what Jay said was really accurate. Just hey, find the thing that you want to do. If you want to work with children, teaching them how to skateboard, just do that. Go do that, and then let's just see where it goes. And honestly, for those who may be listening in or figuring out, do I want to go this route? You don't really need a 501c3 to do most of the stuff you're trying to do. You don't. Just go do it. Is it good for um, honestly, most of us don't get the level of donations that really requires the whole tax write-off anyway. It's very helpful, when churches give, your local people give. Hey, you taking kids to the skating rink? Here you go, let me kid, take this $100.
Yeah.
Okay, they probably ain't gonna write it off no way, but if
Hmm.
you want to have it there for that's cool. But really, go do the work. That's the first thing. Just go do the work.
And it's funny you say that because a lot of people thinking, I got to get that 501c3 because you're told that do it legit and make it legit. And there's some things in Georgia I'm working on now that I haven't done in a while, but
Yeah,
it's the work that you do.
yeah,
But I want to keep on that purpose right there, Bobby, about growing and doing things and doing that. I guess that'll be the subject of the day show. Do that.
do
Um,
that.
you've been doing this about close to 15 years, I would say, right?
Our school is actually going into year 18.
18. Wow. And
18. Yeah. So
18 years.
yeah, man, we were working with youth groups before that, so we're a couple of decades in on this thing.
Outside of your children, why keep doing it?
Um, the
Because
easiest
all your
answer
kids are
I can
grown
give,
now. They out. They
I,
out.
yeah, baby boy is 20, so yeah,
Yeah.
junior. Shout out to Savannah State. What up, Anwar? Um,
Shout out Savannah State.
honestly, they're all my children, and I
Hmm.
know that sounds cliche-ish, but when I look at these kids, um, whether they're in our school, whether they're in our chess club, whether we're taking them to a Braves game, these are our children. This is again, I'm knocking on 54, man. I ain't got forever on this planet. And the people who are going to be left here with my biological children, I need them to have some sense about themselves too.
Right.
And so being able to say, all right, one of our favorite statements when we were talking about raising money for these children, we would tell people you can invest now or you can pay later. So when you don't want to give this kid, help to money to go on this trip so he can be exposed to something different or she can see something different in her world. All right, when they kick your dough in and your insurance rate go up, or when you bust your window out and your car gets stolen, one way or the other, you come off of it. So and you can
Yeah.
invest now, or you can pay later. But that's
That's what
why I'm in it,
happened.
man. I'm invested in these kids.
Yeah, I'm going through that this year. The first graduate class of Optimize Division was second.
Right,
Uh,
second.
So we've had over 2 years, 9 kids have graduated from high school that have been a part of the program. And I'm kind of
Beautiful.
faced that. Like, why am I keep doing it? But then the phone calls still happen and the people still reaching out and you're
Yeah.
saying, oh. So I did take a little break. I had some injuries, had some stuff I had to fix up, but back in next year, we're going to get back into it. But like you say, this bigger than you know just me or those kids or anything like that. And I also want them to come back and give into it. I'm sure when you have a student that's graduated from TSK, you want them to come back and pour into it, because the more you can grow the branch, I call it, because I always treat it like I'm growing a tree, and we got 13 branches. And if each one of those branches can grow 13 and things of that nature, it'll grow. Just like a football. You see a football coach tree, he started here, and you see all these coaches go out that make the tree look big. And that's my thought, because I might not be able to affect everybody. If I can just
Right.
handle my group of kids, it'll help. And as long as I can, like you said, I'm 52 now, I'll be 53 next year. And you be 54 in January. Sorry about that.
54 in
Sorry, dog. Sorry,
January, man.
sorry about so, give me
Hey,
Kevin
I
Hart.
got one
Damn.
other option besides that, man. One other option. I ain't ready to take that one yet, so I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Well, we got to, it is, I like what you said. It is our kids. And we just got to continue the fight. It's not pretty. If it had been about money, I'd have gave that thing up in year two.
Holla at you. Come
It's
on.
not about the money. It's about the work that you're being done. Because at the end of the day, when you get a chance to see a young person that a lot of people might run from or not want to pour into, I'm not going to say not want to pour into, and you see them grow,
Yeah,
there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. But
nothing at all.
continuing with that though, Bobby, as you see our community, and in this style, it's funny, when I started and when you started, we weren't going against as many technical devices as we are now, and as many things affecting this. How did you, a guy who playing one of the world's oldest games,
Right.
chess, figure out that this is something that could help not only just teach to learn, but just help the community in general?
I will be honest, man, and I tell you people even about the book that you so wonderfully cracked on because it took me forever to do it, and it did. Um, it, it's gonna sound kind of ethereal. It ain't me. It's really not. I'm a true believer that when you are moving in your passion and your purpose, you don't really have much of a say. If you're
Yeah,
open and you listen to whatever entity it is you focus on, God, Yah, Jehovah, universe, creator, whatever you call it, whatever that energy is that you tap into, it wasn't me, man. I didn't sit down and say, all right, I'm going to take the game of chess and I'm going to no, I liked playing. I loved playing. It's an enjoyable game. But the moment it hit, it was like, okay, write this down. Oh, what? What is that? All right, now do this. Okay. And I remember really clearly when you and I, when I met you, we were working at AT&T, and right when we went through the whole layoff period, and myself, a couple of other brothers who was, we had decided we are gonna open a video game spot. That was we are gonna take our severance money and go open a video game spot. And we were doing some planning sessions and we were laughing about it. And I just, out of the blue, this was what, I don't even know, early 2000s, like somewhere
yeah,
around there.
yeah,
And I said, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we could just like have a big truck that had video games on it, just ride up on people? And we laughed it off. It wasn't 2 months later, man, I see a big truck, gaming truck, riding down the street. And I said, you have got to be kidding me. So the next time I literally heard this, like you and I are talking right now, this whole guy, you know, do chess. And I was like, chess. And they said, look, we got something for you. If you choose to do it, we'll make it work. If you don't, it's okay. We're not mad. We just gonna give it to somebody else. Like we did the game truck. And I was like, whoa, 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 hold on. I'll take it. I don't care what it is. I'll take it.
yeah. I do it.
And,
I do it.
and it was chess. And I was like, how am I gonna make a living doing chess? I'm not a grandmaster. I ain't never won no tournaments. What am I supposed to do? Do you want it or not? Yes. All right. We'll handle the rest. You just go do what we tell you to do. Okay. And that's been the journey, man. So I wish I could say, well, this is what I did. And I've been divinely blessed that the ancestors and the creator poured something into me that I was obedient enough this time to move on. And it's been a blessing. That's the only way I can put it.
How do you you got to, I got to make sure during this show. That's why I'm glad we're doing the pilot. I got to get out of interview mode
I
sometime.
know, right?
Uh, what is it about that that allows you to not only install wisdom of the game, but install wisdom of life through a chessboard to the people that sit in front of you or learn
You know,
from you? Let me say it like that.
I got you. Students, clients, the whole nine. I will tell anybody you can apply this to any level of living that you want to, be it business life, family life. I think the number one thing that allows me to do what I do outside of just, um, divine blessing is humility, is just getting out of the way of yourself. Is, because if it was all about Bobby, this would have failed long time ago. My ego was too big. I had too much. And me. No, that's another quick
Yeah,
equation for failure.
yeah,
So being able to just say, "Hey, let me learn more from my," I really do. They don't believe it, but I learned so much more from my students.
boy,
Your daughter, I sat with your daughter, man, and amazing child.
yeah,
Excuse me, young woman now. She ain't a child no
yeah,
more. So just listening and learning and soaking in what they give you, and really just being a mirror to people.
yeah.
And you're an interviewer. You That's all we really do. We just give back what people are giving us. And if you listen to people long enough, man, they'll give you everything you need to know.
It's funny you say that because as we go through this, we people talks about, and if you do this enough and long enough, you will eventually learn that lesson about this too. Is that you're not eventually you quit becoming. You're still the organizer or the purveyor of the event, but you eventually lean on the students or you become go from the teacher to the student or the student, whatever they call it, the master
Mhm.
to the student, um, because they keep you going. And to tell you, the
Yeah.
6 years of optimized division, I remember vividly. We was going to a Braves game, and I was struggling. I was like, I don't know if I keep doing this. Y'all will be eighth graders next year. They looked me dead in my face, say, "Did you say eighth grade? We ain't graduated high school yet. We got 4 more years." I said, "Excuse me." They said, "We got 4 more years." They made it to where it's a high school program and a middle school program. And
Yeah.
because they saw the benefit in it. And that's the one thing that when we talk to people about this and you talk about learning from somebody else, if you're not willing to absorb every part of it, the struggle, the wins, the students, the teachings, if you're just going into it to be, I'm gonna install something in you,
Hmm.
then you're definitely gonna fail. And so
Yep.
that's why we always ask at the beginning, what are you doing this for? And who are you doing it for? And I'm gonna continue on that too, Bobby. When we sit there, when failure hits, how do
And
you
it
keep
will.
going?
And it
How do you
will.
keep going?
Um, One of the tenets that we teach, and I was about to ask you something similar, to be honest with you. Um, one of the tenets we teach in Name of the Game, you win or you learn. Um,
Mm,
there is no losing, quote
there's
unquote.
no losing. Right.
There is no losing. The failure isn't quitting. That's where the failure happens. If you decide that, you know what, I've stepped into this realm. I've given this a shot. I've given my all, and you decide to walk away from it and say, you know what, I'm going to try something different. It ain't really working the way we thought it was going to work. That's not a loss. That's a learn. You can
Yeah.
pivot out of that and go, okay, well, we'll try something new. We'll try something different. That's okay. But if you commit yourself to something and then say, without giving it any effort, time, energy, resource, and just say, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that no more." Okay, that's a failure because you just quit. You just gave no effort, no try, and that's where it happens. So when the failures come, and they do, to quote Denzel, I guess is who was attributed to, fail forward, fail
Fail
fast, and
forward.
fail forward. Yeah, it's going to happen. We can't avoid it. Which was leading me. That's what I was saying. I was about to ask you a similar question. Like, what was it that said when you were headed to that Braves game? He's like, I don't want to do this no more. What was it? What was the thing that hit this? Like, I'm tired of this.
I was literally tired because I was walking from the Braves game to the parking lot, and it was far, and I was like, "What am I doing?" Because I was doing shows, I was working, and parents were getting on my nerve because I was trying to, because we had to pick them up, and I'm like, man, I deal with this. And two of the kids stopped and said, "We're gonna walk with you. Come
Mm.
on, Mr. Glay." They call me Mr. Emmanuel. Come on, Mr. Emmanuel. I was like, all right. So I'm much better shape now, even though I got to reconstruct the Achilles now. But back then
Rehab.
it was a struggle. But I had just got tired. I was like, man, this is a lot to do. And it wasn't the kids, it was just parents on your phone. Hey, where are you at? I can't find the spot. Oh my God, they going crazy. And I'm like, I can't deal with this.
So I was going to ask, was it just physical? Because we work with youth and we know how it is with parents. Was it just physical, or was that
No,
emotional or mental strain there as well?
I wish it was. The only thing it wasn't physical, it was mental too. It was the parents calling me. They were getting on my nerve that day. And the kids were just like, and I have one mission. My mindset has always been, as when I was a coach, I don't leave till the last kid leave. If I had to drive you
Right,
home, you getting home. I don't
right.
care. That's how it works. And I knew it was gonna be a struggle, and I said, man, and it just was to the point. But the mission had to be bigger than the mindset. Sometimes your mind can
Yeah,
sometimes get in the way and tell you, hey man, you could be doing something else at the time. You could have went to the Braves game by yourself. You could have been chilling in but nah, man, it's got to be bigger than the mindset. And to see that, and to see them, you know reach out and say, we got you, Mr. Glaze or Mr. Emmanuel, made it bigger than what I thought it was going to be.
yeah,
Because I honestly, Bob, another time this week, I sent out an email before a month. I say, hey man, I'm I'm taking a little time off because of some injuries and stuff. And I say, how many of y'all, because we got five left, are still interested? Four out of the five are like, what time we start? Where you been? They ready to
right.
go. Again, I- trying to, I don't know if I was trying to find a way out or way in,
You,
but
you were hoping. You were hoping.
when I tell you everything came out, bing, bing, I said, God. But I guess that's why, the mission sometimes is bigger. I always tell everybody, passion got to be bigger than the profit. Because
Yeah,
sometimes we get into this in the wrong thing. Because I can tell you right now, if you look at the Optimize the Vision's financial book, y'all start laughing like y'all ain't did nothing last year. We did some things, and we all
yeah,
do some things,
yep,
you know.
yep,
So, Bob, I want to keep this short because I'm gonna cut this up and do some things.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
But I do want to ask this as we finish off this. In doing this, how has this completed or added to your life as far as your purpose and things of that nature? What you do?
The politically correct answer is it's really enhanced my life. It's really made me a better person. I'm more holistically. Man, this has been some stressful.
Oh, it's stressful as hell.
That has been stressful. But again, we're none of us grow without some level of stress. Now, I don't care if it's in the weight room. I don't care if it's in academia. That's how we move. That's how we grow. You put the stress on the muscle, it's going to grow. You put the stress on the brain, it's going to grow.
I like
It
that.
has to be a healthy stress. We don't
I
want to
like that.
snap a ligament. Shout out to your Achilles. Uh, but yeah, it's been a good stretch of myself.
That was the last cast. The
uh,
last cast.
I have learned a lot about myself, about my people, about my community, about people outside of my community.
Yeah.
Life teaches you a whole lot with this journey we on, man. And the fact of giving and giving back and uh, quoting Dr. King, we can all serve. Um, that matters. It's a humbling thing.
Yeah.
People. I'm gonna say this. Okay, we can't curse, but I'm gonna say this. Um, People tout spirituality and Christianity and da da da. Yeah, literally go down and wash somebody's feet. That's a humbling experience. And this is what we do on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
I love
You
that.
know,
Washing the
yeah,
feet.
wash the feet, man, because first of all, it makes you bow down to them and
Yeah.
puts you in a subservient position. Secondly, most people's feet ain't that clean. And it's a the messy, humbling job. But it's also the most that's the basis of what we all stand on. We are on our feet every day. And so the basis of the thing that holds us up to be able to wash somebody's feet and cleanse them and basically cleanse their support system and take
Right.
care of that for them. That's what we do with these children on a daily basis. It's what we do with these families on a daily basis. And prayerfully, if you're in it for the right reasons, that's what they do for us.
Yeah.
So it's reciprocal. It's reciprocal.
And I how they say, I ditto that. That's a bad word of phrase. That's the best word I can come up with right now. Ditto.
Amen.
Uh, Serving is not for the humble. It is something. I know everybody see them Thanksgiving when they're giving out meals. Just go down there one day. Just see people hungry, people wanting to do stuff. It's the most humbling thing you can do. And to try to do it daily is hard work, but it's
Very.
worth it. I don't know. It's funny. Today's our boy's birthday, John.
Yeah,
And it's just funny that we all kind of met during his birthday and the things that have changed. We was in our late 30s, early 40s, and life just flipped around, and changed up everything. So sometimes you have to listen. Like Bobby said, I don't know what are your divine interventions on that, but to me, I listen. I finally just stop for a minute and listen. And as much as I don't get as far as what people would say is successful, how you define success can't be, man, my thing worth 1.2. It's
right, right.
we've seen. I was going to get into something. Billionaires who don't affect their communities that much, but they
That's
affect
real.
other things. So I've seen people with no money affect the community great. And I've seen people with a lot of money affect the community great. And we're blessed too that we have a lot of friends that are putting in work. That's why when I laugh at people when they say, "Hey man, ain't out there doing stuff," I'm like, y'all really don't know the right people.
Where y'all at? What y'all? I'm
I
like,
can take
what
y'all
y'all
to a
doing?
building right now. It just
Telling
y'all have the wrong people in y'all circle. You don't know nobody doing work in the community. Find somebody. There's a lot of people
What's
that you can find.
the joke where people are like, "Man, I ain't seen you at the party lately." You'd be like, "Yeah, I ain't seen you at the bank." But it's the same thing. But people are like, "I ain't seen you out." Yeah, but I don't see you in the streets. I don't see you with the kids. I don't see you at the community
Yeah,
events. I don't,
yeah,
you know. And that's not to say that people aren't doing just because we
yeah.
don't see them.
Absolutely,
That can't be.
absolutely.
I remember a friend of mine told me point blank. They said, "Hey," and I won't mention their name because of where they work, but they said, "Hey, I watch what you do, Bobby. I see what you're doing in the community. I hear the things that you say, and it's sometimes controversial." They were like, "I can't do that, but I can write you a check. What you need?" And I was like,
That's right.
"Okay, let's
That's right.
go." Let's go. So a lot of times that's the other side of the fence that we don't really get to talk about much.
And you know what else, man? We don't ask everybody to do the same thing. Everybody can't do the same thing.
Right. Right.
It just could be you just raising your kids in a good way, and
Yeah.
just dealing with your families and doing stuff like that. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, all I say is this: if you keep saying I don't know people who are doing stuff, I will say you ain't looking at the right people. You need to look at your Facebook friends and say, why all these people ain't doing that?
Right.
Why I got a bunch of friends that show up at the club and are drinking mimosas and stuff like that. You need to figure out. I look at
Right.
my list. I just go up. He owns a nonprofit. He knows. Sometimes I know so many. I be like, "Am I in competition? What are we doing right here? Because am I not doing enough? I'm lazy. Cause look at him. And you don't. And it's kind of healthy competition because you do. You're like, dang, he's doing work. Let me get up because I was gonna sit down and watch this sorry Falcons game again. So let's get there. Hey man, before we go, man, you want to add anything else, bro?
You know what, man? Just um, Just a lot of man, a lot of love for the people who have supported us over the years, man. It's really too many names for me to name, honestly. But just know that I know you're out there. I talk to people on a regular basis and keep in contact with a lot of the people that have been a support system for us, because we can't do it without them. Everybody, in the same way that everybody may not be an entrepreneur or everybody may not be a C-suite executive, everybody's not a nonprofit ED either. It's not built for everybody. And so, for those of us who are out here doing this work, thank you for the support. I don't look at it lightly. I don't take it lightly. Very appreciative because we can't do this
Right.
without people who are in our corner going, "Yeah, we got you. We'll take care of that. We'll handle that for you." So, and shout out again to JB, happy birthday, Vince Sanity, whose birthday just passed a couple of days ago as well. One of the council's birthday members. So, just wanted to put that out there as well.
And as y'all see, man, when we first started hanging out, we didn't have grades. We were we were sharp dressed. We were young. Now we sitting down in chairs and talking through you through this. I think it's a good show, man. I think we're gonna be doing these more of these, man. I like this.
This is fun.
Yeah. Be tuned. Stay tuned. We're gonna get more of this. And I want to just say this, man. As we grow, we're gonna hope that you grow with us because we're gonna do big things. On the OTV Media Network. Bobby, please tell them where they can find you at, sir.
Oh man, NOTG Chess is my number one handle. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I just set up a Substack, dude. Can you believe this? Now I get to go start writing things that. Ooh, I'm getting back to my English days. This is fun.
What's a
So yeah,
Substack? What's a
yeah. I'm gonna let you look at. So Substack is
what the heck?
it's a place for writers and journalists, man, for people to go in and just put your thoughts down. Like sometimes you can put down free stuff, but sometimes it's paywall stuff. So if I really feel like just the stuff I can't say on here, come over to my Substack and see what I'm really talking about outside of the niceties here.
Yeah, man. Because I got a feeling we'll talk about that later, man. We'll talk about that later, man. For my boy Bobby J, his EGlaze, man. Thank y'all for joining Optimize the Game. We're gonna be keep doing this. Stay on, Bobby. We'll see you guys later, man. Peace.
Peace.